So obviously you got a big fight coming up against Amanda Serrano this summer. How has training been already, and are you already in the process of that whole entire training camp?
Oh yeah, I mean this fight is at 126, so we're using May to just lose weight. 126 is like little kid weight, so we're gonna use May for just like entering fight camp. You certainly don't want to burn out by overtraining, so we're doing this as a very casual kind of weight loss, cut some pounds to kick off true camp June 1st.
Heather, what was sort of the process of putting this together? Because Amanda Serrano, she beat Erica Cruz and she was supposed to have the rematch with Katie Taylor and then pulled out due to injury and whatnot. What was sort of the process of getting this fight? How did it get put on the table for you? And you obviously jumped at the opportunity for a rematch. So how did this all come together?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I did 2 local shows, some small shows. I bounced back at 135 and 132 just to kind of get back in the rankings and trying to show people I'm still here. I changed my team. I spent all year last year with Hector Roca every day, just fixing technique, changing my boxing. As everyone knows, Roca passed away in January. And one of the things he said to me the day before he died, it was January 2nd, day after New Year's. He said, everybody thinks you're past your prime, baby, but I don't think you hit it yet. This is your year. And he passed away just a few hours later. And it kind of resonated with me. Like, he really believed in me. Like, he really, because Roca, if you know him, wasn't the kind of guy to just tell you something. If he didn't, he wouldn't say it unless he meant it. That's why I like if Roca said, oh, you look very pretty today. You know you look good. And when he had said that, I kind of went into my fight in February, though it was kind of on a small venue, thinking like, all right, well, we're going to do this show for Roca, and then I'm going to try for the world title. So I contacted a friend in writing, and Tom Trabasi used to write for Ring Magazine and Boxing Scene. I contacted him and I asked him to put it out there to that, like this is the final chapter and I want to crack at a world title. And I think that my resume speaks for itself. So it was kind of like 126, 130, 135, wherever I can get some bread, who wants me? And Amanda hit me up right away. She said, you know what? You gave me your first defense in 2019. You didn't have to. You gave me the defense and I won my world title off you. You deserve the rematch. So.
And I remember that fight. I remember interviewing you actually. I think it was at Gleason's gym either before or after you beat Shelly Vincent. So this was around that time. I think it was in your office. And I remember the Amanda Serrano fight and that coming together. And I think some people may have been surprised just because, that's your choice for your first title defense of all people. Just what was the toughest part about fighting Amanda? At that point, and are there things that you could take from that experience that, maybe you could try to exploit in this rematch?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't think that I should take the rematch, but I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a fighter. I'm not a boxer. I'm a fighter. And if you call me out, we fighting, And my pride was too big for my brain. And I think the hardest part of fighting her was half of my team wouldn't train me because they said you're not going to win. So I kind of went in there with only half a team behind me because the other half was kind of like, you're not going to beat her. I'm not going to let you bring me down. And there was a lot of negativity in the camp. I don't punch as good as her. I don't move as good as her. And that was really the hardest part. And that was really what kind of drove me this year, training with Hector for the year and changing my coaches and changing my team and changing everything. That was kind of my motivation. Like, I got a whole team of people behind me who ain't in this for the money, ain't in this for the round of applause, ain't in this for the social media following. These guys want me to win so bad. So it feels real good to have a team behind me who wants me to win as bad as I do.
Heather, how much of a learning experience was that for you to make sure, obviously sometimes in boxing, it can totally be mental, right? And that experience, how much did you learn from that experience, knowing that I got to have the right people in my camp? I got to have people that believe in me. And how much do you think that will have an impact leading into this fight against Amanda?
Sure. I think that it took me 3 years to learn that, right? Like, I fought her in 2019 and here we are 2023, I think. But it was like after the fight, it took me a real long time to look back and go, you know what? mental health is so as important as your physical health. Like the part of my team who stood behind me walked into the locker room saying, "You're in the best shape of your life. You're boxing better than I ever saw. You're stronger than I ever saw." But it was the mental health aspect, that part that really wasn't there, and I didn't realize it because 2019 I lost my title. I had lost an MMA fight just a couple weeks before, and I kind of was just like, you know what, maybe this ain't for me anymore. Maybe I passed my time. Maybe it's time to hang it up. And it was a lot of this, right? Like learning, what do I need to do to win that title back? And as far as I can see, I've done everything I need to.
What's the relationship like between you and Amanda Serrano these days, if there is one?
Yeah, I mean, she mad cool. Like it was her and I who like negotiated this fight. She was the one who read the article and reached out to me, was like, "Sis, if you want it, it's yours. Like, you gave me my shot. If you really want it, it's yours." And I was like, "Hell yeah. Yes, I want it." Like, yes, I want it. So she's like, cool. And it was her and I going back and forth, like, okay, this is how much money, this is when it's going to be, chill out, don't post, don't do this, don't do that. Yeah. And right up until contract sign, and it was her and I negotiating. So.
Which is also why we waited to do this interview, because I reached out to you before, and you're like, "Oh, hold on, there's some news coming."
Yeah. It took a couple weeks, but and MVP is very like, almost it's like a verbal NDA, like no talking about this because media comes on our rollout. So
I remember I was talking to Shantelle. I was like, what do you think this could be?
I'm like, she's got something coming, man. She's got something coming in.
I thought it was gonna be like merch or some shit. And it's like, we're fighting Amanda Serrano, bro.
Also, the experience factor as well, when you add into it, like everything that you kind of been through within your career, within your life, like going into a big fight like this, obviously there's going to be stories being done on you, big segments before the fight to let other people that haven't followed your career kind of know a little bit more about you. But how much do you think experience leading into this fight will be a big factor?
Well, I think it is a big, but let's not forget Amanda has experience too. She won. Yeah. She turned pro before I even became an amateur. She got a lot more skin in the game than me, even though she's younger. So I'm not trying to use my experience like it's going to be my upper hand in this. She got experience too. She got everything. Like people like, how you going to beat Amanda? Fuck if I know. I'm going to go in there and fight though.